Well, happy Monday morning, Business 20 students. This is Mr. D. This is week number 2 in our 8-week fall 2022 class here at Norco College. This is the second 8 weeks, so we are moving towards Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up very soon. And I just wanted to give you a brief video going over last week and this week's assignments. And one thing I do want to say about our class is, just so you know, this class is not one that you can kick back in. You definitely need to work through the study pages. We're covering 2 chapters a week on math topics, usually 2 independent topics. And so they can be very challenging. If you're really good at math, you could probably cruise. But if you're someone like me that often struggles with math or forgets, you're going to need to take your time to work through each of these assignments. So don't think you can cut corners on this class and do well. Most students realize about week 3 or 4 that have tried to cruise that they're in trouble and they need to really buckle down and get it right. So I just want to say that right up front. Make sure you don't put yourself into cruise mode, but that you give yourself time each week to work through the study pages as well as the read me firsts and then get started on your course work. So anyway, we're in week number 2. So I'm going to come down. Remember, each module is 2 weeks. So we're still in module number 1 as we go into week number 2. So I'm going to select that from our home page. Of course, last week, just to back up a little bit, you did a initial mandatory check-in assignment, which was just introducing yourself and letting us know where you're at in your educational journey. There was a mandatory pretest, and the pretest is just to let me know what you know. So I'm not asking you; you're automatically going to get 10 points for it, no matter how well you did. And the goal of that's just to see what you know. So hopefully you tried your best on those questions and answered those. Then, of course, we started our case study number 1, which was choosing a bank. That's actually not going to be due until this week, so I'm going to move it down here. And then, of course, you had your first quiz based on chapters 3 through 5. I did my best this week to get in there and answer questions. I went in there every other day to answer anybody that answered questions. I went in because some of the questions, by the way, and I apologize, this is just the way this class is laid up, is that they're not all multiple choice. And we just felt like, you're really not demonstrating, that you understand how to do the concepts without working them out. So some of the problems are multiple choice, some of them are not. From this point on, every quiz is only 6 questions, and it could be anywhere from 1 to 4 or 5 fill-in questions. So if you get 1, great, you got 5 multiple choice. If you got 4 or 5 of the fill-in ones, that means you got 1 multiple choice or 2. But that's kind of how the class is laid out. The exam is the same way, just to prepare you. You have 25 questions on the exam. Some of them are fill-in, some of them are multiple choice. But my point being is I will go in and grade every day. Starting this week, I'll be going in every 24 hours at least and grading every quiz that is done. So if you submit it, I should have it graded. So that way, if you've made mistakes, you can retake the quiz. Quizzes you can take up to 3 times. It makes it a little difficult when you have to wait for me to grade it. I understand that. That's why I'm giving you a 24-hour commitment to have it done within 24 hours. And that gives you time to make whatever changes. And I'll actually give you the answer worked out in the comments of the question. And that way you can go in, you can see what you did wrong, and then you can take the quiz again. By the way, the quiz is not the same every time. So you might get different questions, but at least you saw how to work out similar type problems. So that was this last week. I had you also read the How to Prepare Successfully for Completing the Coursework, and that was basically telling you to make sure you read the README files and make sure you read and go through the study pages. So you have a README first every week. You have a Meet Sienna every week, or Help Sienna, as we kind of put the whole class in the context of Sienna and what she's facing with her fitness store. So make sure each week you start there. It's going to give you foundational information about what we're studying that week and how it relates to business, how it relates to Sienna's business. And then, of course, you had your 3 study pages for this week. I apologize. Somebody told me about halfway through the week that they couldn't see chapter 3 and 4, and that's because I unfortunately didn't publish them. So they're up. They were up as of like Thursday, and you should have had plenty of time. Those are the easy chapters to work through. But as we come in, and then of course you had your quiz last week. And then as we move into this week, then again, you're going to have some README first. These must be done before you can access the coursework. The README first week 2. I have actually a announcement video for week 2. That's the video I'm doing right now, and you're watching that. And then I have Read Me First week 2, which is it's going to explain how these assignments tie into the big picture of business math as well as business, and what these topics cover as far as what you need to know in doing business. And then I have a Help Sienna, so I put everything in the context of what Sienna is trying to solve this week so that you understand what you're helping her do through the math that you're going to be working out. And then it's going to be covering 2 chapters this week. You're going to be covering percentages and trade and cash discounts. So there's a study page for that right here. There's a study page for each chapter. In the study page, by the way, is PowerPoints. I give you the exact slides to go to for each concept. The PowerPoint slides are down here. There's a video of me here working out and explaining the portion percent formula. And so make sure that you review that. There's the PowerPoint slides right here. And then I give you videos, not done by me, by others, in case you don't understand my presentation. You can also watch these videos on how to figure out percents of numbers and how to do the trade formula, trade discounts and stuff. That'll be on chapter 7. So this is all for chapter 6, everything here. I highly, highly recommend that you go to the study page and that you work through some of the stuff there until you feel like you're getting it. Same thing with chapter 7. There's a study page for that. And the same resources are available to you there. I give you all the sections to study. By the way, I give you the sections because you don't need to study everything in every chapter. So always come here, see what we're going to be covering. In this case, chapter 7, I think you are covering most of 7. Again, there's some videos of me working out both of these kinds of problems. And then I have the PowerPoint for chapter 7. Then I have videos by others on all of these topics. So it's just to help you get an idea, an understanding of how to work out the problems. And then you're going to come down here to our check-in assignment. Now, the check-in assignment, I'm going to be changing the date right here because it's going to be due by this Thursday. It's actually due on Sunday, but if you get it done by Thursday, which Thursday will be, let's see, the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. So if you get it done by the 27th of October, then I will go in and I will make sure that you, actually it's down here, sorry. I will make sure that I grade it before Friday. I'll grade it on Friday, Saturday, so that way you can make whatever changes you need to your problems, and then you can take the quiz and do the case study. So every week you have a check-in assignment, and every week I give you until Thursday to submit it if you want my feedback. Now, if you don't want my feedback, you could wait till Sunday and submit it then, but I won't be giving you any feedback that's going to help you on the quiz, or if we have an exam, the exam. So the way I've laid the class out is the check-in assignment is kind of our way of interacting on the assignment itself and the problems that you're going to be doing. And it gives me a chance to get you to work it out. I want you to show me your work, and then my opportunity to give you feedback and show you where you went wrong. And I'll typically send you all of the answers to the problems. That way you can go back as well if I missed something and see where you went wrong. So that's what you're going to be doing in week 2. This was week 1, and I should have changed all this because it wasn't due on 10/28. It was actually due on 10/25/23. Sorry, I had those dates undone. So let me change that real quick here while I got you on a video. So that's pretty much it for the week. So let me go back real quick over this week. So this week you're going to have Read Me First and Help Sienna. There's a study page for chapter 6 and 7. Oh, by the way, we also have a formula sheet for all of 6 and 7's formulas. So you don't need to go to the book, but they're also in the book. Then there's a tips here for solving word problems, because most of the problems you're going to solve are word problems. So it gives you some tips for doing that. Here is your check-in assignment number 2. You're going to have some problems on percents and trade and cash discounts that you're helping Sienna to solve. And then, of course, you have your quiz on chapter 2, and then you're going to be starting your case study, you're going to be finishing your case study number 1 because you started it last week. And this is on banking. It's actually chapter 4 that you're going to be working that up. But it's really just common sense. You're figuring out which checking account is the cheapest monthly and annually. And so each bank gives you their different criteria for charging you each month for using their bank for a checking account. And so that's what the check-in assignment is all about. So I think I covered it all. That's it for this week. There is just those 2 things. You're going to be finishing your case study, and you're going to be taking the quiz number 2 this week. And then, of course, your check-in assignment. That's the main piece for this class. So, all right, I'll look forward to getting your assignments and giving you some feedback.